So Rick performs a strong mouth tense here, whilst also restraining his breathing in an attempt to stimulate his parasympathetic nervous system to try and calm himself down. He becomes extremely frustrated, realizing that Alexandria is so out of touch with the real world. He realizes that no one is going to do anything about Pete, who has been abusing his wife and son, so decides to take action himself.
You know, Sam asked for a gun to protect you.
You shouldn't be here.
Jessie, in here, you can't see it, but it's the same. It's the same as out there. We have food and roofs over our heads, but you don't get to just live. You don't get to put it off or wish it away, Jessie. If you don't fight, you die.
When Rick enters the room, he immediately gets close to Jessie, and then avoids eye contact when revealing that her son Sam asked for a gun to protect her from her abusive husband. And he does this to reduce the social pressure that he puts on her, to not worsen her already high stress levels. But Rick then slowly changes his proxemics and moves further away from her, to reduce the social pressure that he's putting on her. He realizes that she's in a very delicate position here, and restrains himself.
And I don't want you to die. I can help you. I can keep you and your boys safe. I can. All you have to do is say yes.
Would you do this for someone else? Would you do this for anyone?
So when Rick realizes that she agrees with him, he slowly changes his proxemics and moves in closer, whilst also lowering his voice into a whisper. She then asks him if he would do this for anyone, which is a subtle way of asking if he loves her. And when asking this, she expresses the Globus response, swallowing as a result of increased muscle tension in the throat, creating a strong urge to swallow. Rick then immediately distances as a psychological self-protection mechanism, as he deals with his overwhelming emotional response.
Yes.
Rick? What are you doing here?
Pete.
What are you doing here?
Listen to me.
I'm gonna have to ask you to leave, Rick.
No.
Excuse me?
You need to leave.
What are you talking about?
So Pete from the very start is expressing extreme mouth and throat tension, leading to this slightly strained and aggressive sounding voice. He's consciously masking his rage here, but gets worse as he becomes more angered by Rick's presence. Rick being in the house generates an irrational amount of anger, which shows just how unstable and aggressive he is. And this is really subtle, but Rick is being non-confrontational here, but does adjust his posture to square up to Pete. He's not reacting to him emotionally, but importantly, he's not backing down either.
Just go, Pete.
What have you been saying to each other? Huh? What have you been doing? Pete, you and me are gonna leave now. You come into my house. Pete, you and me are leaving. You're leaving right now. You think you're the law? You actually think you have a say in anything here? Step back. Who the hell do you think you are? Someone who's trying not to kill you.
No!
You want to stop now? Come into my house!
Pete, stop it! Pete, stop it!
Pete is terrifying here, and this is because he still tries to maintain this mask of calmness, whilst he bores away with extreme aggression under the surface, showing just how well accustomed he is to masking his anger. And this is very common with people who have anger issues. And when Pete attacks Rick, he then expresses mouth tension as part of gate control theory, producing proprioceptive feedback in the jaw to try and block the pain signals from registering in the brain.
Diana!
So we can see and hear Rick's perspective here, and his brain completely restricts his attention, so much so that his hearing becomes virtually non-existent, and the only sounds we do hear are those from Pete. And this is very realistic. When the fight response gets triggered, the amygdala restricts the brain's focus, causing hyperfixation, which literally stops the brain from processing non-essential inputs. And this is to preserve brain power to avoid cognitive load, ignoring all non-essential sensory inputs.
Get off!
Stop it! Right now.
Talk to me again, and I'll kill you.
Damn it, Rick! I said stop!
For what? You wanna kick me out?
Put that gun down, Rick.
So the only voice to break through here is Diana's, and this is because Rick's amygdala registers her as a position of authority, and he literally snaps his attention to her, and when she tells him to put the gun down, he immediately distances and looks away whilst exhaling, and then looks down to the floor. And the first distancing behaviour that we see here is frustration. Pete was the one who attacked him, and it's here where he receives a massive spike in his arousal, realising that they see him as the villain, not Pete. He then distances to the floor to reduce his cognitive strain, whilst he processes a response.
You still don't get it. None of you do! We know what needs to be done and we do it. We're the ones who live. You just sit and plan and hesitate. You pretend like you know when you don't. You wish things weren't what they are. Well, you want to live? You want this place to stay standing? Your way of doing things is done. Things don't get better because you want them to.
Diana maintains strong, non-stop eye contact with Rick here, and this is because she's in the freeze response. She is terrified of Rick, and jumps when he shouts as part of the shock response. And I think this is the first time that she's confronted with the reality of the new world, and she doesn't know how to act. There are no laws anymore, and she realizes that the only real power here is force. All of her authority is gone because Rick has a gun.
Starting right now, we have to live in the real world. We have to control who lives here.
That's never been more clear to me than it is right now.
Me? Me? You mean me? Your way's gonna destroy this place. It's gonna get people killed. It's already gotten people killed. And I'm not gonna stand by and just let it happen. If you don't fight, you die. I'm not gonna stand by and...
So when realizing that Diana is talking about him, Rick immediately experiences emotional dysregulation and laughs. And this isn't a real laugh, but a reactive stress response. And this happens as he's experiencing multiple conflicting emotional responses at once, where no single response can fully dominate. So he just laughs before immediately stopping it. Rick is amazed at how naive they are, but importantly, Diana learns that in the new world, one gun can bring their whole order to chaos. It's only Michonne using violence to stop him that actually resolves the situation. It's a really good and well acted scene.
We're going to talk about one of our constables, Rick Grimes. We're going to talk about how he had a pistol he stole from the armory, about how he pointed it at people, and we're going to talk about what he said. I was hoping he'd be here.
She said he's coming. I'm sure he'll be here. And I'm sure we can work this all out.
So Diana has her hands in her pockets as a form of self-regulation, generating proprioceptive feedback to stabilize her arousal. But this also functions as motor suppression, and she deliberately restrained her hands to avoid others picking up on her stress level. Meanwhile, Carol is performing a fake smile here. The muscles around her eyes don't tense up as they should do in a genuine Duchenne smile. She's deliberately acting nice here to appease.
Simply put, there's a vast ocean of shit that you people don't know shit about. Rick knows every fine grain of said shit. And then some.
So this is extremely interesting. Rick expresses no real extreme facial tension here when fighting with the Walker. And this demonstrates Abraham's point perfectly. Rick is so accustomed to this world that coming face to face with the Walker is of no real difficulty for him. His amygdala doesn't trigger the extreme sympathetic arousal that we'd expect in a situation so tense as this. And this is because he's just so experienced. It's why he appears so calm and almost detached here.
I just want to keep my family safe. I don't even know what that means anymore, but if it means that we've got to get rid of...
So Rick's respiration rate noticeably spikes here after he puts the Walker down. Before he was in the fight response, and his defense mechanism was narrowing his attention and regulating his breathing for action. Once the stressor is dealt with and he leaves the fight response, all the built up sympathetic arousal is then released. And this causes his breathing rate to increase as he tries to regulate himself. He also shows psychomotor agitation, pacing on the spot to again vent the arousal.
There wasn't a guard on the gate. It was open.
I asked Gabriel to close it.
Go.
I didn't bring it in. It got inside on its own. They always will. The dead and the living, because we're in here. And the ones out there, they'll hunt us. They'll find us. They'll try to use us. They'll try to kill us.
So Diana immediately performs what's called the self-hug and folds her arms, and this is again self-regulation. but a far more visible display of it. The physical contact helps stimulate her parasympathetic nervous system, which is the brain's rest and digest function, calming her down, showing that she's had a massive spike in her stress levels. Rick's dramatic arrival has turned her whole plan on its head, and she is forced to realize the brutality of the world. Before she was nervous, but felt in control, but now she feels totally powerless.
We'll kill them. We'll survive. I'll show you how. You know, I was thinking how many of you do I have to kill to save your lives?
When Rick says that he was thinking how many of them he has to kill, he then immediately pacifies by scratching his head. He recognizes that what he's saying is controversial, which triggers a spike in arousal. The scratch is a self-regulatory behavior, helping him vent stress whilst he also pauses as a result of cognitive load. He really doesn't want to say it, but he feels he has no other choice. Meanwhile, Diana maintains strong eye contact with Rick, whilst continuing to self-regulate.
But I'm not gonna do that. You're gonna change. I'm not sorry for what I said last night. I'm sorry for not saying it sooner. You're not ready. But you have to be. Right now, you have to be. Luck runs out.
Immediately after saying that you're going to change, Rick tenses his mouth and swallows as part of the Globus response. Overruling Diana and effectively taking ownership of Alexandria generates strong sympathetic arousal, leading to muscle tension that results in swallowing. And Diana then responds with an elevated respiration rate, and then does a prolonged blink, which is a form of distancing behavior, increasing the length of her blink to avoid the stress of looking at Rick. She is now finally beginning to accept that Rick is right, despite it deeply troubling her.
You're not one of us. You're not one of us!
Pete, you don't want to do this.
Get the hell away from me, Rick.
Just stop. Just
Get
now,
away
Pete.
from me.
Stop
Get away.
now, Pete.
Get out! Get the hell away from me,
Just
Rick.
stop now,
Get
Pete.
away!
Stop, Pete.
Get away! Listen to him! Listen to him!
Rick immediately enters the fight response when he sees Pete, opening his mouth to take in more oxygen to assist in survival. He is laser focused, expressing hyperfixation as his superior colliculus locks his eye contact. Whilst nearly everyone enters a shock response, Rick is completely unfazed, just as he was when he killed the walker. He's about to kill Pete here, until Carol intervenes.
It's him! It's him!
Rick. Do it.
Rick?
Rick is completely devoid of all emotion here, as the basal ganglia system in his brain shuts down all non-essential motor output, whilst at the same time his prefrontal cortex becomes less active. It's why he doesn't hesitate whatsoever to shoot Pete. However, the moment he looks up and sees Morgan, we see something interesting. He's still firmly in the fight response, but now has to process the shock of seeing Morgan after such a long period of time. His prefrontal processing is reduced under this level of arousal, so he isn't able to just immediately interpret what's going on. This causes him to freeze and just stare at him. It's a really detailed and well acted scene.